Okay, the next series of exercises we're going through, very important muscle neglected by a lot of practitioners out there, but also a lot of individuals in general. So it's the pelvic floor muscles. And when I say pelvic floor, everyone's thinking pregnancy, mamas, and things of that nature. Yes, that's a target population that these exercises are absolutely essential for. What I hate hearing is after that 4 to 5 week postpartum checkup, go back to normal activity. That normal activity varies for every individual. You might be a marathon runner. You might not do any exercises hardly at all. Regardless, you just went through a marathon and you have to retrain those muscles, those pelvic floor muscles. Regardless if you're pregnant or not, or have had pregnancies. If you're a man, your pelvic floor is still there. You still have pelvic floor muscles, and those muscles is what stabilizes areas of your spine. So a lot of times with a lot of herniation history in your low back or low back pain, these are really target exercises that are going to be important for you as guys to also do, in addition to my pregnant mamas out there. Okay. So first exercise here is called a dead bug, and you'll see why here in a second. So you're going to be on your back like this, okay? Tightening up your stomach again. Obviously that's a key word of mine, okay? Tighten up your stomach. You're then going to lift your knees. So it's not lift your knees, tighten up your stomach. You tighten up your stomach, lift your knees. Okay, keeping your knees in this position. You're then going to splay your legs out slightly, heels touching the front. Put your arms in front of your chest like this. Okay. Once you're in this position, keeping your stomach nice and tight, opposite arm moves back on an angle away. Okay. Leg is going to move at the same time, keeping your knee bent, opposite from your arm going down on an angle, keeping your knee bent. So it's going to look like this from the side. I'll show you from a different angle here in a second. Coming back, nice and slow and controlled, keeping that tummy nice and tight. Same thing here on the opposite side. You do not have to go all the way down to the ground. It's within your comfort level, so it could just be here, and that's where you're at. It could be all the way down to the ground, and that's okay too, as long as it's slow and controlled. So I'm going to flip you here so you can kind of see from this angle. Excuse the angle, by the way. Keeping your stomach nice and tight. Knees come up, splay out to the side, arms here, opposite arm, opposite leg, coming back up. Just like that. Where I see people go wrong with this, straight out, straight back. Not what we're doing. They don't tighten their stomach. They go too fast, okay? It's not a sprint. Nice and slow and controlled in all those movements. Okay, so that's the dead bug. Why they call it a dead bug? Well, bugs on their back dead. Guess that's kind of what they look like. I didn't term it. I don't know, but that's what I'm guessing. Okay. Next one here is similar to another exercise I gave in another video, the side plank exercise with that arm movement. So again, elbows underneath your shoulder, stomach's nice and tight, heel in line with your hips, knees slightly bent, keeping your stomach nice and tight. Hips come up and forward as you're coming forward. I call this a puppet motion because it's as if your arm and leg are connected with a string. Moving at the same time, tightening up that tummy, hips come up, arm and leg come forward, and back down. And this will be on both sides, of course. Third exercise. Okay? Call this one bird dog. I honestly have no idea why they call this one bird dog, so don't ask me. But bird dog, tightening up your stomach nice and tight, nice and flat back. Opposite arm, opposite leg, lift up off the ground. Notice I'm not doing this all crazy, okay? Just lifting up a couple inches, okay? If you want to go out a little bit further, I'm okay with that at a certain stage, and I'll let you know when to advance to that. Opposite arm, opposite leg right here. Come back in, keeping that stomach tight. Transfer to the other side. Okay? I'm going to show you from this angle here. Tightening up the tummy. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Notice my head straight. I'm not tilted down. I'm not looking up. I'm right here. Opposite arm, opposite leg here. Last pelvic floor exercise I'm going to implement. It's called the bear stance. Okay? Hands, wrists underneath your shoulder. Knees underneath your hips, your toes are slightly bent in the back, you're tightening up your tummy nice and slow. Hips come straight up to the ceiling, okay? If you've ever done yoga before, I love yoga, but this is not a downward facing dog, so I do not want you to do this, okay? It's It's as if a string is connected to your sacrum, lowest part of your spine, pulling up to the ceiling, keeping your stomach nice and tight. We lift up like this. We hold for about anywhere of a range for 5 to 15 seconds, and then we drop down nice and slow. If that is easy for you, we can advance this exercise. I'm going to show you from the front here. So same thing, you're tightening up your stomach nice and tight, lifting your hips straight up in the air, and I might have you lift just one arm a couple inches off the ground. Hold for a few seconds, drop it down. Same thing over here, holding for a few seconds, dropping it down. I might have you do the same thing here with your feet. Excuse the view. Tightening up your stomach, lifting up, holding here, a couple inches off the ground, couple inches off the ground, back down. If you get really good, we're going to do opposite arm, opposite leg with this. So you're going to tighten your stomach nice and tight, hips come up to the ceiling, okay? Opposite arm, opposite leg, lift up, hold for a few seconds, drop it down. Same thing on the other side, opposite arm, opposite leg lifts up, drop it down, and then you drop down nice and easy, okay? Okay, so I'm going to show you that from this other angle here where we flip around to this side. Again, you're tightening up your stomach nice and tight, hips come straight up, my head's not forward, it's not down here, nice and straight in line with my spine, keeping your stomach nice and tight. Again, that opposite arm, opposite leg lifts up a couple inches, so I'm not here, couple inches, back down. Same thing on the other side, holding a couple seconds, couple inches off the floor, back down. If you're doing this and you're really rocking over like this, you're not ready for it. Spine, pelvis has to stay fairly straight here to be stable. Now the next series, as those individual exercises become easy, we're going to combine all those together, which is going to sound crazy. So we're going to start with that dead bug. You're on your back, stomach's nice and tight again, knees come up, feet in, arms here. We do opposite arm, opposite leg, nice and slow. Coming back in. I should mention, hip popping can be normal as long as it's painless. If it's painful, stop and check with me. After you do 1 to 2 reps here, opposite arm, opposite leg, nice and slow, we're going to slowly, notice, let me do that one over because I messed it up. Slowly come up onto your hip, place your elbow down. We're going to come into that side plank up, arm and leg come forward, slowly coming back into your arms and knees, keeping your stomach tight throughout this, by the way. Opposite arm, opposite leg, lifting up. If you're ready for it, opposite arm, opposite leg, dropping back down, reversing that baby up. Gonna come back down to your side, nice and slow and controlled. So I'm here, I'm not flopping, okay? Nice and slow. Nice and slow, not flopping. Back to that dead bug. And then we're going to go to that other side. Okay? And reverse it to the other side. Last individual pelvic floor exercise is probably going to be the most challenging out of everything we just went through. So once you're able to effectively do those transitions without any issue whatsoever, any pain, with ease, not out of breath like I am or sweating, maybe a little sweating, then we're going to be ready for this one. This is called a baby get-up. So if you have any experience with kettlebells, you might know the Turkish get-up, similar but a little different. So you're on your back here, okay? One leg's going to be down. The leg that is down, that same arm is up to the ceiling. Knee that's bent's going to be here. You're going to tighten your stomach nice and tight again. Slow and controlled is key. You're going to come up onto your hips and reach. Okay, so what I mean by slow and controlled, if you're here and you have to, you're not doing it right. Slow and controlled, up on your hips and reach. Hold for about 3 to 5 seconds. Reach back. Eyes go with the arms. 3 to 5 seconds. reach forward, 3 to 5 seconds, slow and controlled, back to where you started, and then you switch it up. Keep that stomach nice and tight, coming up on your hips, nice and slow and controlled, and reach, 3 to 5, 3 to 5, 3 to 5, down nice and slow again. Oop, messed up the hands there. 3 to 5. And you're going to go back and forth like that, okay? That's probably the most advanced exercise. You can add a kettlebell or weight to that, but definitely you want to do it nice and slow and controlled just like we just did there.